So here we're trying to calculate the number averaged and weight averaged molecular weights of a polymer in which 20% of its molecules have a molecular weight of 100,000 grams per mole, 30% of its molecules have a molecular weight of 10,000 grams per mole, and the remaining half of its molecules have a molecular weight of 1,000 grams per mole. On the lower left, I've graphed the mole fraction of the three different molecular weights of polymer that this piece of plastic is comprised of. And on the right, I'm showing a rectangular piece of the polymer, and let's just arbitrarily say that this has a mass of 1 gram. So let's pretend that we could somehow separate the three molecular weights within this sample. And what you might expect is that this portion of the piece of plastic has a molecular weight of 100,000 grams per mole. The middle one has a molecular weight of 10,000 grams per mole, and the white on the right has a molecular weight of 1,000 grams per mole. However, this is not true at all. It actually looks something like this. The wide majority of the material has a molecular weight of 100,000 grams per mole, despite the fact that its mole fraction is only 20%. Only 20% of the total number of molecules is comprised of this high molecular weight material. However, the wide majority of the mass is comprised of this high molecular weight material. And we'll see why in a second. So let's go back to our original 1 gram unlabeled piece of polymer. And I'm going to call this M total, representing the total mass of our sample. Well, let's try to figure out the number of moles within our sample. So we want to figure out N total, and we don't know what this number is. It's some number of moles. Well, here, the way we could do this is we could say that the total mass is equal to the total number of moles, which we don't know, multiplied by some molecular weight, which we don't know. We don't know, is it 100,000 grams per mole or 1,000 grams per mole or probably somewhere in between, but we have to figure that out. It turns out that this molecular weight is equal to what's known as the number averaged molecular weight. We'll use M with a bar over it representing average molecular weight, and the subscript N means we're averaging over the number of molecules. The way we calculate the number averaged molecular weight is to take the mole fraction x1 multiplied by the molecular weight mw1 plus the mole fraction of the second molecular weight plus the mole fraction of the third molecular weight. In this case, x3 is equal to 50%, and the molecular weight mw3 is equal to 1,000 grams per mole. If we substitute in numbers and make the calculation, we find that the number averaged molecular weight is equal to 23,500 grams per mole. We can use that molecular weight then to calculate that we have 4.26 times 10 to the minus fifth moles of molecules. Some of those molecules are big ones, and some of the molecules are really small. Well, let's calculate the number of moles of the molecules that have a molecular weight of 100,000 grams per mole. So to calculate that, we'll call that N1. It's going to be the mole fraction multiplied by the total number of moles in our sample. So x1 is equal to 0.2, and we'll multiply that by 4.26 times 10 to the minus fifth moles. And that leaves us with 0.85 times 10 to the minus fifth mole. And I can do the same thing to calculate the number of moles that have a molecular weight of 10,000 grams per mole, and again for the ones that have a molecular weight of 1,000 grams per mole. And note, just to confirm, if I add these three numbers up, I do come up with the total number of moles within the sample. The next thing I'm going to do is calculate the mass of polymer that has a molecular weight of 100,000 grams per mole. So to calculate that, I'm going to take the number of moles of that molecular weight multiplied by its molecular weight. So I've got 0.85 times 10 to the minus fifth moles multiplied by the molecular weight of 100,000 grams per mole. What I find is that the total mass is 0.851 grams. And think about that for a second. We're looking at a polymer in which only 20% of the molecules is comprised of this large molecular weight polymer. However, most of our sample is comprised of that molecular weight. So maybe now it's becoming a bit more obvious why the distribution looks the way it does, because 0.851 grams is comprised of the high molecular weight. Since it's only 1 gram, it suggests that 85% of our sample is comprised of that high molecular weight material. And I could do the same calculations for our medium molecular weight, find that 0.128 grams of our sample is comprised of that material. And then finally, despite the fact that half of the moles are comprised of that low molecular weight material, only 2% or so of the mass is comprised of that. So 0.021 grams of that low molecular weight material. And to check our work, if I add up the 3 different types of material, I do find that I come up with a total mass of 1 gram. So I could calculate the weight fraction of that high molecular weight material. W1 is going to be equal to the mass of 1 divided by the total mass. 85% of the mass is comprised of that high molecular weight material. I could do the same calculations to come up with W2 and W3. Calculating the weight average molecular weight is a matter of multiplying W1 by the molecular weight of 1 plus W2 multiplied by its molecular weight plus W3 times MW3. In doing so, I come up with a weight average molecular weight of 86,400 grams per mole. So now let's compare the weight average molecular weight to the number averaged molecular weight and pay attention to the fact that they're quite a bit different. And the reason that they're different is because we've got a broad range of molecular weights, ranging from 1,000 up to 100,000 grams per mole. And they're all represented fairly significantly in the mole fractions, 20, 30, and 50%. It's not like one of those fractions is negligibly small. So I would expect a fairly large polydispersity for this mixture. And I calculate a polydispersity of 3.68, which is indicative of a wide range of molecular weights.